Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. It's hard to remember now because history's pretty hazy, but it was just 3 years ago that Joe Biden was considered too decrepit, too corrupt, too out of touch ever to be president. And that wasn't just the view from the right, by the way. They mostly stayed out of it. That's what faithful Democrats were saying. In 2019, 3 separate neoliberal news outlets, The Guardian, The Week, and CNN.
Okay, this is important. Tucker is exactly right here in his phrasing to call these neoliberal news outlets, because that's exactly what they are. Neoliberalism is a policy model that encompasses both politics and economics and seeks to transfer the control of economic factors from the public sector to the private sector. Even though this is absolutely correct, Tucker is only saying it because it has the word liberal in it. He knows that his audience thinks this is some form of a pejorative word for a leftist. But far leftists use it as a pejorative for what they consider to be like fake leftists, in the same vein in which conservatives use the term rhino. In any case, he's right that these are neoliberal news outlets for sure.
All published op-eds with the exact same headline: Why Joe Biden Shouldn't Run for President. Other publications made the same point with equal vehemence. I really like Joe Biden, but he shouldn't run for president, said a columnist for USA Today. Joe Biden is not helping, declared Rolling Stone, as if the goal was to help. And actually, Biden's family agreed with this. This is true. They did not want him to be president either. Some of Biden's closest relatives assured friends that Biden was running merely to work off the grief from his son's death 2 years before. It made a kind of sense. He needed to get out on the road and clear his head, and a campaign was the way to do that. He knew he wasn't going to win. And for months, it seemed all but assured that he wouldn't win. Biden's first debate performance in June was widely written off as a disaster. It seemed pretty obvious he had zero chance at the nomination. And then Bernie Sanders started to win primaries. For the second presidential cycle in a row, Sanders proved to be the only Democrat in the field with legitimate grassroots support. Donors saw this and they panicked. The guy who hates billionaires? What's he going to do to Wall Street?
Nailed it. This caused Bernie to pass 2 elections. In the eyes of the establishment, he's simply unacceptable as president because he would try to rob them of their power. Biden and Trump make for pretty agreeable figureheads to work with.
So Sanders was unacceptable to the people who fund the Democratic Party, but there was a problem. What were the options? Pete Buttigieg and Beto O'Rourke? No. Both had turned out to be lighter than air. Elizabeth Warren? Double no. Kamala Harris was horrible on every level. Absolutely nobody liked Kamala Harris, and for good reason. So it turned out to be Joe Biden by default. Get out the Biden signs. We're all in. And of course, the media got the message immediately. By the time he was inaugurated, here's what the press corps was telling you about Joe Biden.
Anybody who has any connection to reality about what is going on around them should have watched that and said, the adults are back in the room.
It seems as though we have a professional adult once again in the White House who's just simply doing the work.
Really, the theme, I would say, is the adults are back.
Still, it is a relief to have adults in charge.
Now we have adults in the White House.
Okay, the adults are back in the room.
There is a sense, I think, the world over that the adults have returned.
We have an adult in the White House now, and it's glorious.
These people. Never an original thought among them.